The following is a paid program by Pitt Community College. Welcome to Education on Call, the program that gives you free information about new career opportunities from Pitt Community College. Now here's your host, Mike Weeks.
Thank you so much for joining us for this latest edition of Education on Call. Over the next half hour, we'll be answering a lot of questions you may have about career opportunities that result in high-paying jobs. Now, whether you recently may have lost a job due to a plant or business closure, or perhaps you went to work right out of high school and you've been working several years and now want to train for a new higher paying career. Or maybe you're a high school student or a parent of a high school student looking for college opportunities. Stay tuned. And if any time during this program you'd like to request more information about Pitt Community College or a program or topic we've presented, you can contact us or one of our guests by texting the word PITT-CC. That's PITTCC to 51555. That's PITT-CC to 51555. And someone will get back to you within 2 business days. Now we'd like to introduce our guests on today's show. First, Susan Nobles. She's the Vice President of Institutional Advancement at Pitt Community College. And we're very happy to have the Division Dean with Construction and Industrial Technology, Mr. Stephen Matthews. Stephen and Susan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
We want to talk a little bit, let people know a little basic information about Pitt Community College. We're in Pitt County, and there are 58 community colleges in the North Carolina community college system. Tell us about Pitt Community College.
Pitt Community College is a great community college. It's almost 60 years old. We've been operating in the Winterville community for a long time, but we have centers throughout Pitt County. We currently serve about 8,000 students, curriculum students per semester, or we'll serve about 22,000 students, curriculum and continuing ed students a year. It's just a wonderful place for people to begin an education, Mike, or to continue their education, and it's one of the best. We're the 6th largest community college in the state according to our enrollment. We're military friendly. It's just where everybody ought to start.
Well, and we need to tell people that the North Carolina community college system is known as, if not the best community college system in the country, one of the best community college systems in the country. And Pitt Community College is one of those very bright and shining stars. And I know you're going to be interested in our topics today. And I want to introduce again the Division Dean for Construction and Industrial Technology, Stephen Matthews. Stephen, let's briefly tell people, there are 3 different divisions that you oversee, and what are those?
The areas that we have are the construction areas, the engineering area, the transportation, and industrial. So there's 4 areas that we do. In those areas, there's 12 programs of study that encompasses that. They range anywhere from automotive systems technology, engineering, machining, all the way up to even horticulture.
Yeah.
So it's basically anything that a student would want to do.
And in the segments coming up, we have some of your instructors that are going to be joining us and giving specifics about those programs. So whether you're interested in building trades or in industrial machinery or those types of things, we're going to have a lot more information for you, so I want you to stay tuned. Susan had mentioned that we're military friendly. Stephen, you have a military background. Tell us a little bit about your career in the military and how you got involved in community colleges.
My career started out, I was in high school. All I ever wanted to be was a soldier. I spent 11 years in the infantry, ended up in the 82nd Airborne Division, how I ended up in North Carolina ultimately. In probably my second deployment overseas, I was injured. I come out 70–80% disability. Going through the community college through a program called vocational rehabilitation, it was basically a second chance for me. It put my life back on track because up to that point I had no options. I didn't know what to do. Ended up going through as an automotive technician in a 2-year associate's degree program. transferred that to a 4-year university bachelor's degree, and then on after that to a master's degree in technical education.
Wow. And you did your automotive training at Forsyth College.
Forsyth Tech in Winston-Salem, yes.
Wow. And now you're at Pitt Community College in the Division Dean.
I am. I taught at Forsyth Tech as an automotive instructor,
Wow.
and then I was a department head at Guilford Tech for about 6 years there, and then transferred here.
And you have some great instructors, and we're going to meet a couple of those coming up. But we do want to emphasize that there are great opportunities for a lot of people, and we do have opportunities for veterans. And we have a lot of veterans because you said you came to North Carolina because of the military.
Yeah,
there are a lot of people just like that. And we want you to call if any time during the program you would like to get more information about any of the programs that we're talking about, or if you're a veteran and want to know if there's some special programs or assistance for you or for any person. Text Pitt CC to 51555. On your phone, text the words Pitt, P-I-T-T-C-C, to 51555. And someone will get back to you within 2 business days. So we do want you to reach out. We'd like you to come take a tour of the campus. The automotive facilities are beautiful. I always tell people you could eat off the floor. It is so clean. I wish where they worked on my car it was that clean, but it's very clean there too. But you have a wonderful program and lots of great people. Susan, briefly, the foundation is not only a friend-raising arm, but a fundraising arm. But I want you to tell something that I think is very interesting. How many alumni does Pitt Community College have?
Mike, we have over 300,000 alumni, and many of them live in Pitt County, but they live throughout the world.
Wow.
And we're very proud of that. Many of our employees are also our PCC alumni.
So they were graduates, and then they've come back and they're teaching. We have lots of information coming up for you here on Education on Call. And our next guest, we're going to talk a little bit about building trades. If you're interested in framing carpentry or any of the trades like that, our next guest, Maurey Verzier, is going to come on board and give us all the details. So please stay tuned. And anytime during the program, if you have a question or you would like to reach anyone that you see here or would like information, text Pitt CC to 51555. You're watching Education on Call. Welcome back to Education on Call, where we'd like to introduce our newest guest, Maurey Verzier, and she's the chairperson for Building, Construction, Technology, and the Division Dean, Stephen Matthews, is still with us. Maurey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We want you to tell people what happens, what are the classes that are taught in Building, Construction, Technology?
Well, the core focus of our program is the hands-on training our students receive. And we do that in their first year by actually building a student project. It is a full-size house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, about 1,300 square feet. But then we introduce other courses as well to kind of round out that education, including building construction, residential framing, estimating. We also go into green building concepts and statics and structures.
Wow, so lots of different classes.
Yes.
Maurey, there's a high demand for carpenters, framing carpenters, different things. Tell us, what kind of calls do you get from employers?
We get all sorts of calls looking for people to come and basically just help to come work. The industry's booming right now and everybody is wanting to hire. We have industry partners that have offered jobs ranging from internship positions for students still at the school, as well as part-time positions and even full-time and leadership positions.
So a lot of different opportunities. You have some ladies enrolled in your programs.
We do. Actually, we have one that is from another country. She actually is an architect, a licensed architect in her home country. And the first day I met her and her mom, she told me, she said, look, she said, I've got an extensive knowledge in steel and in concrete construction. What I don't have is wood. Can I come to your school? Can I come through your program? Can I get that information? Can I get that knowledge?
Wow.
And I said, yes, ma'am, absolutely. And because she's got that architecture background as well, which is very similar to my background, I even talked to her a little bit about, well, have you thought about, double majoring in both the architecture program that we have at Pitt and the building construction program? And she's currently doing that as we speak.
Let's talk about students, people out there watching, whether it's someone in high school looking for a a career, or people that maybe have thought about careers in framing carpentry or wiring or heating and air conditioning, all of those types of things in different divisions under our dean here. Who comes to your program? Where do they come from, and what are their interests?
We have students from all backgrounds, from all over North Carolina. You know, from across the entire financial spectrum, including first-generation college students. I've got active military, I've got reserves, and I've got veterans that are in my program.
Wow.
In fact, right now, I've got a Navy SEAL, I've got a Navy veteran, I've got a guy in the Army Reserves, and I even have a female in the Army Reserves as well.
Well, I know it's impressive when you drive past the college, down Highway 11 and 13, we see your building projects.
Yes, you do.
You said it's hands-on. You're not kidding. Everybody's got their hard hats on, and they are out there building. You also had another very unique project that you built besides a full-size home. Tell us about that.
We also had a tiny house that we worked on last year.
It was cute.
It is. It's a little one-bedroom, cute little tiny house with a bathroom, and everything's built in. So really nice.
Now, besides hands-on framing and those things, you teach blueprint reading.
Yes.
Talk about some of those other classes and education that they get as well.
Sure, of course. So blueprint reading kind of is the beginning spectrum, and we also teach them about materials and methods of construction. We want them to have as much hands-on and to be able to be exposed to different types of wood and lumber that they may run into on a daily basis on any job site. And then we take it further where we get them prepped and ready to go for industry, so that whether they go out as a construction estimator or they need to make sure they're watching safety protocols on the job site, as well as, you know, they may wind up having an interest in the statics and the framing and the calculation of loads on the project. You know, we also cover green building concepts, and we teach them formally building codes as well.
You mentioned something I think is interesting, knowing some general contractors. You know, the estimator is one of the most important people in the building.
Very much so.
And they want to make sure that they've got their estimate correct, because it depends on whether the contractor would make money or perhaps lose money.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that and the building codes. And we want to remind people that if any time during the show, if you have a question about the building construction program or any of the classes that we've mentioned, if you'd like to talk with Maurey more about her classes, or Dean Matthews about anything in construction industrial technology, text PITT-CC, P-I-T-T-C-C, to 51555. It's on the screen, PITT-CC to 51555, and someone will get back to you within 2 business days. You've got a great program. Let's talk about people that not only want a 2-year degree, but they want to go on and perhaps get a degree in construction management. Do your credits transfer?
We do. We actually have a 2+2 articulation agreement with 3 North Carolina universities for a bachelor's in construction management, and those 3 are ECU, North Carolina A&T, and UNC Charlotte.
And I imagine that changes. You get some new ones that are inquiring, so that list is expandable.
We are currently expanding, yes.
Yeah, so that's great. So whether I'm interested in something with a 2-year degree, or I'm interested in a building construction management degree.
Exactly.
They could come speak with you.
Yes, by all means.
Dean Matthews, what is it like? We've got a lady in charge of building construction. That seems a bit odd, and we've got some ladies involved in those classes and other classes. How does that work out for you?
Well, fortunately for me, I'm surrounded by people that has an immense amount of talent in their fields. Maurey, she comes from a background with a lot of talent. She has a way of handling herself and handling the instructors that work for her that is phenomenal. The only thing that I can see is sometimes she may be a little bit rough with them, but but other than that, it's a very professional run. It's just like walking out onto a job site and watching them work out on the job site. It's very professional. It's, you know, it's by the numbers.
Let's talk about jobs that your graduates get. You have shared with me, as I have visited your work site, about you've pointed at different people and said they've got a job, they've got a job. Talk to us about jobs, and what kind of money do you make with a 2-year degree from Pitt Community College?
Sure. Upon graduation, our students have a variety of options and of opportunities where they can go into being a project manager. They can go to be a field supervisor, obviously an estimator, and their ranges, you're looking between 30 to 50,000 starting
Starting
to go out there starting, and that even includes the internships.
Yeah. Talk to us about internships. Lots of opportunities?
Lots of opportunities. In fact, we just had a local company come out and spent 12 hours with us interviewing all of our building construction students, and are currently looking to offer them lots of student internship opportunities.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so impressed with the job opportunities that you have for participants in your program and graduates.
Yes.
I think that's really impressive. If a parent is watching or someone, as you've heard, Maurey students come from all walks of life, people in the military, veterans, people out of school. I know you've shared with me you have some people whose families are in the construction business and their kids enroll because of the quality of the program that you have. That speaks volumes for your program and for Pitt Community College. And you'd be glad to meet with them one-on-one and tell them more.
Absolutely.
All they need to do is text PITTCC, PITTCC, to 51555. Dean Matthews, let's talk about one other program for just a second, and that's welding. That is so high demand.
It is.
You can't find graduates fast enough. We're not going to talk long about it, but we want people to know if you're interested in a career in welding, that's also under your division, and we have ladies that do that also.
We do. Currently, we have instructors who are also females in the area. It's one of the programs where we have the demand is out there so high that we can't produce enough welder graduates to get them into the field, so a lot of times we lose those students because they've acquired enough skills at that level during their first year to succeed in the industry and to bring home a good career, a good paycheck.
And Dean Matthews, you were telling me, I want you to share with the people that are watching, what was the hourly pay that student interns are getting from your welding program?
We are seeing a range anywhere from $18 to $28 an hour.
$18 to $28 an hour.
And these were
as an intern.
As an intern, before they graduate, going out into the industry. We call them an apprenticeship program.
Right.
They get to go out in the field, work, get a little bit of a trade in the real time, and then they come back to school and they learn.
Wow. Well, lots of great opportunities, and we'd be glad for you to come take a tour. You've got beautiful facilities. You can come see students working on housing projects. It's hands-on. Text PITTCC, PITTCC, to 51555 for more information or to meet with an instructor. Come take a tour. You're watching Education on Call. Welcome back to Education on Call, and we want to remind everyone, if you have a question or would like information about any of the programs we discuss, or would like to speak with one of our guests, all you need to do is text PITTCC, PITTCC, to 51555. That's PITTCC to 51555, and someone will be back to you within 2 business days. Back on the set, we'd like to introduce our newest guest on the set, Tony Gallardo. And Tony is the chairperson for Industrial Systems Technology. Tony, welcome.
Thank you.
We want you to explain to people out there that may not be familiar with your area, what do you teach? What is Industrial Systems Technology?
Industrial Systems Technology is a diversity of classes. My students graduated to go into local industry and worldwide industry. They learn mechanics, they learn electrical, they learn hydraulics, and welding,
Lots of different areas. Well, in the commercial that just played, before we came back and introduced you, we showed your shop and some of your students in there. So they learn all the things that need to be maintained and repaired in an industrial setting. Is that fair?
Yes, sir, that is. That's what they do.
Wow. Where do your students come from? What kind of interests would someone have that's involved in your program?
I always look at it, that students like to work with their hands. That seems a great opportunity for them to step into my programs and learn that and apply that.
Wow. You have a great success with your graduates. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Tony, I want to talk a little bit about your career. You're a former Marine. And how did you get involved in teaching at a community college?
Well, what got me involved in teaching at the college level is I used to work civil service, and I used to build Harrier jet engines and build them and run them in a test cell, and we would sell those back to the military. I had an injury, and that injury led me into to go back into teaching because I couldn't drive back and forth from my home to that industry or that base every day, and they sent me back to school, and that's where I learned a trade, and I learned that, and I applied everything I've learned throughout my life, and it seems to work out great.
You know, let's talk about the kinds of businesses that hire your graduates. In Pitt County in eastern North Carolina, there are lots of manufacturing facilities and other industrial facilities. Do you have employers contacting you wanting to hire your folks?
Yes, sir. Almost on a daily basis.
Wow.
Local industry, pharmaceutical, the industry is on the upswing, and the demands for graduates, it's on a daily basis. It really is.
Stephen Matthews, I've heard you say that Tony's area is kind of one of the highest demand job areas at the college. Talk a little bit about that.
I think it's a result because we have so many industry areas that's right there surrounding Pitt County. We've got the pharmaceutical companies, we've got the biotech, we've got a few of the areas that are looking for like robotic repairs. So it is daily. I get a call, or either I'll have an HR rep stop by my office daily. I had Sanderson Farms and Purdue yesterday.
Yeah. So, and we want to encourage employers, if you're looking for qualified employees, they need to call and chat with you. You need to call Tony. You need to call Dean Matthews. I want you to share an interesting story you were telling us about one of your students.
Okay. I had a student graduate from a university with a master's degree in finance. Finance. And he was a stockbroker for 8 years. And he come back and reviewed Pitt Community College website and seen my program, and then requested to talk to me, to speak to me in my office. And when he came out, he says, being a stockbroker, the stress, he took it home every day.
Oh boy.
So he wanted to do this. He completed my program, and he worked at a local industry, but then he got married and wanted to move to Raleigh. So now he's working in this area at Kellogg's, and he loves his job. He said he learns something new every day and makes the most money.
Wow.
And that's just amazing.
And going from a stockbroker to repairing industrial systems, you never know. We have people from all walks of life that are watching, and if you're in a job now that maybe you're not happy with, like Tony's student that we talked about, or you want to train for a new career, you ought to come visit his facilities. It's really impressive, and you get to meet and talk with some of his students. You can meet with Stephen Matthews and other people. Anytime during the program that you would like to contact us and arrange that, come have a tour. All you have to do is text PITT-CC, P-I-T-T-C-C to 51555. Again, PITT-CC to 51555. Tony, you've really impressed me. I didn't know what to say, in fact, when you told me about your graduates and the kind of money that they make after a 2-year degree. You had 14 graduates recently? And
14 graduates, and everyone had a job, and the average salary is $60,000 a year.
$60,000. And we can't get enough people to fill the jobs.
Cannot get enough people for the industry.
Wow.
I tell my students, I said, it's not when you get a job, it's where.
Yeah. Dean Matthews, what advice do you have for students looking at careers in this area?
I would just tell them to come down and talk to the program coordinators. They're the professionals in that field. I mean, not only that, I mean, they are the craftsmen that have years of experience doing what they do. I mean, it's firsthand knowledge.
And the college does a lot of tours, and really a way, don't you think, to get started if you're a parent of a child or you're a person out there that thinks they might like this, they need to come and tour the campus and specifically tour your facility, your shop. What will they see there?
Absolutely. I've just moved into 2 new modules, a new building, and I can't be more impressed with that, with the opportunity and expand. But I would be glad to have them come by and talk to me and then give them a visual tour of the facilities. I think they would be very impressed.
And not only do you have gentlemen involved in this program, you have ladies that are enrolled in your program too. It's not just for men anymore.
Yes, sir. I try to get as many women into the program.
Yeah.
It's not about the brawn and the brute force. It's all about technology,
Yeah.
utilizing it, and they're just as equal at doing it. And I love the fact that I get more women into the program.
Wow. Well, that is impressive. And same way with our previous guest, Maurey Verzier. She has a lot of women in the building program as well. So it's a changing world, and there are not enough graduates. And it's at Pitt Community College. Are there graduate opportunities for your folks that take your 2-year degree? Can they go on and get other degrees as well?
Yes, sir. Our programs, a lot of the programs under our CIT, Construction Industrial Technology,
Yes.
transfer into the college level at, say, ECU State or
Yeah, so if you want to get a Bachelor of Arts degree, that's very easy to do.
All of them.
All of them.
Yes.
So they
Yes,
all
sir.
work. So some of them, you know, it's pretty tempting if you're a student out of high school or someone coming back and in your 20s to be able to get a job for $60,000 after 2 years. Kind of hard to think you want to go for 2 more years of school.
The point I like to give is when you go out there and you start making that money, and then that company will reimburse you or pay for your higher level education.
Wow.
And that's amazing.
So if you're looking at how to finance your education, and you have companies that will in fact pay your tuition and books and those things because they want to hire you.
Yes, sir.
We want to impress upon you again all the great programs at Pitt Community College, and thank our guest today, Tony Gallardo with Industrial Systems Technology, and Dean Matthews. You've been great. Maurey Verzier, who was our guest earlier. Lots of opportunities for training, great jobs. Employers can't hire enough of our graduates. Text Pitt CC to 51555 and join us for another edition of Education on Call.